The story begins in the northwestern region of the Clay Kingdom. Our protagonist, Norm, is busy making medicine for his sick mother. After drinking the medicine, she thanks him for always taking care of her. Norm tells her he needs to go feed the sheep now, and she makes him promise not to go outside the barrier. He assures her he won't. Norm mentions he will bring back some fruits and rabbit meat to make soup. His mother starts coughing, and worried, he says he'll boil some water for her. She stops him and wipes the dirt from her hardworking son's face. Apologetically, she says she's sorry for not being able to give him much and that he deserves to choose how he lives. The scene shifts to Norm at night, making soup with the rabbit meat and fruits he gathered. When it's done, he takes it to his mother and tries to wake her, but she doesn't respond. Devastated, he realizes she has passed away. He then makes a grave for her next to his father's grave and silently cries. After this heartbreaking event, Norm spends his days catching prey to eat, taking care of his cattle, organizing things in his house, and reading books. Each day passes in this routine, and he feels lonely when not occupied with work. One day, he finds an old book in his house. Upon reading it, he remembers it was the book his father used to read to him as a child. His father used to tell him about adventurers, sharing heroic tales that fascinated Norm. He learned that adventurers could lift curses haunting a forest, study magic to become powerful magicians, band together to take down colossal monsters, and even secure an all-curing elixir from the Spirit King. No matter the crisis, adventurers would fight to protect. The next day, Norm lays out large amounts of feed for his cattle and says his farewells to his mother and father at their graves. He tells them that he is going on his first trip to the city to become an adventurer. With a mix of excitement and hesitation, he leaves the protective barrier around his home. After spending several days traveling alone, he finally reaches the city. Upon entering the city, Norm asks the guards at the gate for directions to the Adventurers Guild. They point him in the right direction, and he makes his way through the bustling city, marveling at the unfamiliar sights. Everything excites him, as it's his first time experiencing city life. When he arrives at the Adventurers Guild, the guildmaster initially tries to shoo him away, saying it's no place for kids. Norm explains that the gatekeeper directed him there to become an adventurer. The guildmaster advises against such a dangerous path, suggesting his parents would worry about him. Norm somberly informs the guildmaster that both his parents are dead. Upon being asked for his name, he introduces himself as Norm. The guildmaster then tells Norm that if he wants to become an adventurer, he should start by attending a training school, though he warns that Norm might have trouble fitting in as the youngest candidate they've ever had. Curious, Norm asks what a training school is. The guildmaster explains that everyone who wants to join the Royal Capital's Adventurers Guild must attend a training school to choose an adventurer class and acquire useful skills like sword techniques and magic. This excites Norm, and the scene shifts to him at a swordsman training school. He dreams of becoming a hero who could slay a dragon the size of a mountain with a single strike. At the school, Norm trains diligently in swordsmanship. One by one, the other students begin to awaken their sword skills, while Norm continues to train, feeling envious of their progress. Several months later, all the other students have learned various sword skills, but Norm has not made much progress. Despite his efforts, his instructor advises him to stop training, suggesting he pursue a different path. Noah wants to continue training, but the instructor tells him it would just be a waste of time. He harshly calls Noah a talentless bum, noting that in all his time there, he has only learned to parry. The instructor suggests that Noah might be better off exploring other training schools to find his potential. Determined, Noah goes to the warrior school. He thinks being a warrior would be cool, as he could stand on the front lines and protect his allies. Despite going through grueling training, he makes no progress. After several months, his warrior instructor tells him to quit, noting that Noah has only managed to slightly enhance his physical strength. He warns Noah that continuing on this path will only lead to injury. Noah then tries the hunter training school but fails there as well. His instructor tells him he isn't cut out for handling delicate tools like bows. Next, he tries the magician training school, but after all his training, he can only cast a puny flame that struggles to light a candle. He then goes to the thieves training school. Despite training there for a while, he can't get the hang of disarming traps, picking locks, or detecting presences, and he has to quit this path as well. Finally, he tries the cleric training school, but after months of training, he only learns the spell Low Heal, which can barely treat scrapes. Disappointed, Noah returns to the guild. The guild master is surprised to learn that Noah couldn't master a single skill after months of training. The guild master tells him he doesn't have what it takes to be an adventurer. Feeling like a talentless loser, Noah leaves the city in disappointment. The scene shifts back to his house, where Noah tells his parents Graves that he has no talent for adventuring but refuses to give up. He decides to work harder than anyone else and crafts himself a wooden sword. He recalls his sword instructor's words. The one skill he has might evolve into something new if he keeps honing it. Determined, he trains his parry skill. Noah spends his days and nights perfecting this one skill. A year passes, and Noah has trained his parry skills to deflect 10 swords at once. He still hasn't developed any new skills, but feels he is making progress. 3 more years pass, and now Noah can parry 100 swords at once, yet he still hasn't developed a new skill. Despite this, Noah refuses to give up. He trains so hard that he even breaks his wooden sword and heals his scratches with his low heel skill. 10 more years pass, and now Noah can parry 1,000 swords at once. He reflects that he hasn't missed a single day of training in the last 14 years, yet he still hasn't learned a single new skill. The next day, Noah decides to head to the city once more, and the scene shifts to him at the Adventurers Guild. The guild staff checks his skills and notes that he has parry, physical enhancement, stone throw, feather step, tiny flame, and low heel. She questions if he is sure he wants to register with these seemingly unimpressive skills. She explains the training school system and its benefits, but he mentions that he has already studied under all of them. This leaves the girl unsure of what to say. Realizing he won't be able to join the guild, Noah wonders if there is any way for him to achieve his dream. At this moment, the guild master arrives and struggles to recognize the grown-up Noah. After taking a closer look, he recalls who Noah is. Noah explains what he has been doing all these years, and the guild master is astonished that all he managed to learn is a slightly improved version of parry. The guild master then explains that adventurers are ranked from S to E, from the strongest to the weakest. To register as an E-ranked adventurer, one needs at least one useful skill, which Noah lacks. Feeling defeated, Noah contemplates giving up on his dream, but the guild master reveals that there is a lesser-known rank below E. Excited, Noah learns he can join the guild as an F-ranked adventurer. The guild master explains the conditions. Noah won't be able to take hunting or gathering jobs outside the city and will only be allowed to do odd jobs within the city's borders. This rank was designed for beggars to earn some food. Surprisingly, Noah agrees to join as an F-ranked adventurer. The guild master is taken aback but registers Noah when he insists. Noah is thrilled to see his adventurer card and begins taking on odd jobs around the city. He completes them one by one using his skills, however modest, while continuing his sword training. Days pass as he helps people throughout the city. One day, while sitting by a fire, he reflects on achieving his dream of becoming an adventurer who helps others, knowing he can't wish for more given his skills. He continues working odd jobs around the city. One day, Noah helps an old woman clean her drains, and she appreciates his consistent help. He then works at a construction site. After finishing his work, he notices a light shining in a cave and hears cries for help. Rushing to the cave, he sees a minotaur about to kill a girl. The girl is protected by knights who are quickly overwhelmed by the powerful monster. The minotaur kills the knights with ease, leaving the area drenched in blood and the girl terrified. Noah distracts the minotaur using his rock throw skill, drawing the monster's attention to himself. The minotaur chases Noah and attacks, but Noah manages to parry its strikes. As the minotaur continues its assault, Noah's sword takes damage. He realizes he needs to find an opening, but also acknowledges his lack of offensive skills. Seeing the girl still in danger, he uses feather step and parry to save her, but this destroys his sword. He resolves to protect the girl, remembering his father's words about what it means to be an adventurer. The minotaur attacks again, and Noah parries, causing the monster's axe to fly out of its hand and behead the minotaur. Noah knows he would have died if the fight had continued much longer, and once again acknowledges his lack of talent. The girl thanks him for saving her life and asks for his name, but he tells her he is not worth remembering and leaves. Some knights arrive to rescue the girl, and we see Noah back in town. He reflects on how he almost got killed by a random minotaur and resolves to train even harder. This brings an end to our episode 1. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to not miss the next part.